Perception of a salesperson. Value is perception, position is respect. In sales, it's not what you say, it's how the customer perceives you. That perception defines your value, shapes your position on their respect spectrum, and determines whether they listen, trust, or buy. As a salesperson, you can be perceived as an order taker, that is a vendor, as a solution provider, that's being a problem solver, or buyer's consultant, as trusted advisor. At the order taker level, you operate purely transactionally, responding to requests, quoting prices, and closing quick deals. Every conversation is reduced to cost and availability. You don't influence decisions, you simply process them. As a result, you surrender control of the sale, compete on price, and remain easily replaceable. Customer loyalty is shallow, opportunities go unexplored, and your value is perceived as minimal. Being seen as just an order taker places you at the lowest end of the respect spectrum. You're not trusted advisor or a problem solver, but merely a vendor who can be switched the moment a cheaper or a faster option appears. Now, as a problem solver or a solution provider, this is where selling actually begins. At this level, you are no longer just taking orders. You're asking questions. You're trying to understand what's really going on behind the requirement. Not what do you want, but what do you actually need. You diagnose before you prescribe. Here's the shift. When you solve a problem, you're no longer easily compared, because not everyone is taking the time to understand the customer the way you are. And that changes how customers see you. You are not just another vendor anymore. You are someone who brings clarity, insight, and direction. With that, you earn a higher place on the customer's respect spectrum, resulting in better conversations and less pressure to compete on price. On the buyer consultant or the trusted advisor, this is the level every salesperson aspires to be in, but very few actually reach. Here, you are not just solving problems, you are shaping decisions. You understand your customer's business, their goals, their pressures, even before they say it out loud. Your conversations are no longer about products, they are about direction, strategy, and outcomes. You are collaborating, not selling. And here's the real shift. Customers don't just listen to you, they rely on you. At this level, price takes a back seat. Competition struggles to break in, and the relationship goes beyond transactions. It becomes long term and trusted. That's why the respect you command here is completely different. You have moved significantly higher on the customer's respect spectrum. You are not seen as a salesperson anymore. You are seen as a partner in their business. Now, to summarize, sales isn't about pushing products, it's about understanding, diagnosing, and solving. Because value isn't what you say, it's what the customer perceives. And that perception determines where you stand on their respect spectrum. The higher you move, the better the conversation, the stronger the trust, and lesser the pressure on price. In the end, you're not just a salesperson, you've become a partner in their growth. And that's when selling stops and success starts.